Hello friends, in this clip we shall discuss about the cell, structure and function. Now let's solve some questions. An interconnecting membranous network of the cell composed of vesicles, flattened sacs and tubules. Now here the answer is endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is made up of these flattened sacs, here you can see, okay, and tubules. Okay, so they are made up of flattened sacs and tubules. They also produce vesicles, here you can see. Okay, so endoplasmic reticulum, it produces vesicles containing different materials, which these vesicles then fuse with Golgi complex, where they are processed and packaged. So here answer is endoplasmic reticulum. Cytoskeleton is made up of. Now, cytoskeleton, it gives shape to the cell. It is made up of many proteinaceous filaments, namely microtubules, intermediate filaments, etc. Okay, so they are made up of different proteins. So the cytoskeleton is made up of different proteinaceous filament structures, okay, like microtubules, intermediate filaments, etc. Now here are different filaments which are part of cytoskeleton. Okay, so there are three types: microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and microtubules. Now, microfilaments, they are made up of protein called actin. Okay, they are made up of protein called actin, and their diameter is up to 7 nanometers. So that is why they are called microfilaments, because they are smallest filaments. Okay. Whereas these intermediate filaments, they are made up of keratin, vimentin, or lamin, or other proteins. So they are made up of more than one type of proteins, intermediate filaments, and their diameter is up to 10 nanometers. So 7 to 10 nanometers diameter. So if that is the diameter, then those filaments are called intermediate filaments. Now, the largest ones are microtubules. Now, microtubules, they are made up of tubulin. Microtubules are made up of protein called tubulin. Okay, and their diameter ranges, okay, up to from 11 nanometer up to 25 nanometer. So, microtubules are the largest, whereas the microfilaments are the smallest. Okay, uh, these microfilaments are made up of actin protein. Intermediate filaments are made up of these proteins, keratin, vimentin, lamin, and others. And microtubules are made up of tubulin proteins. There are two types, alpha and beta. So here, these are all. Here you can see all these. Okay, cytoskeletal filaments. They are made up of proteins. So here the answer is proteinaceous filaments. Which of the following has its own DNA? Okay. Now here dictyosome means, okay, it is nothing but Golgi complex. Okay, lysosomes, peroxisomes. So you know very well that apart from nucleus, even mitochondria and chloroplast, they have their own DNA. Here you can see this mitochondria. Okay, it is made up of many copies. Okay, of circular DNA. Usually there is only one DNA, not many copies. So only one DNA will be there usually in a mitochondria. Okay, so here answer is mitochondria, and if chloroplast had been given, then you should select chloroplast also. The main arena of various, spelling is incorrect here. The main arena of various types of activities of a cell means most of the activities of the cell, they are taking place in which part, they asked. So here the answer is cytoplasm. Okay, because many organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, okay, lysosomes, ribosomes, okay, all these they lie in cytoplasm. Okay, and most of the activities of the cell take place in cytoplasm. Okay, say for example, plasma membrane, it is basically involved in transport. Okay, so it has only few functions such as transport. Mitochondria, again spelling is wrong here. ON should be mitochondria. So mitochondria, the main function of mitochondria is to synthesize ATPs, that is production of energy. So it is concerned only with that. Okay. And nucleus, the main function of nucleus is to synthesize different RNAs. Okay. But within cytoplasm, most of the cell organelles are present and almost all the functions that take place in the cytoplasm. Okay, that is why the main RNA of different types of tubule cell is cytoplasm. The plasma membrane consists mainly of. Now you should remember that the basic structure of plasma membrane is a lipid bilayer. Okay, so plasma membrane is basically made up of lipids called phospholipids. Now these are the phospholipids. Now phospholipids, they are arranged in two layers. So this is one layer of phospholipids. This is another layer of phospholipids. So the basic structure of cell membrane is nothing but lipid bilayer, which is made up of phospholipids, in which you can see different proteins are embedded. Okay, so these are different proteins which are embedded in the lipid bilayer. So here answer is protein embedded in a phospholipid bilayer. So there are two types of proteins. I think you already stated that two types of proteins are there: integral membrane proteins and peripheral proteins. Now, peripheral proteins, they can be easily removed from the plasma membrane by the action of some alkali. But integral membrane proteins, they are not easy to remove because they are situated deep in the lipid bilayer. Identify the components labeled A, B, C, and D in the given below diagram from the list 1 to 8 given with. Now they are given the diagram of endoplasmic reticulum here. You can see the nucleus and this endoplasmic reticulum, which is closely associated with the nucleus. Now they are given different labelings here, different parts. Okay, we have to match them. Okay. Now, cristae of mitochondria, inner membrane of mitochondria, cytoplasm, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondrial matrix, cell vacuole, and nucleus have been given. Now, the part which is okay, the part labeled as A, as you can see, this is endoplasmic reticulum, which is associated with the ribosomes. So it is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. B is, here you can see, this is also endoplasmic reticulum, but it is not provided with the ribosomes. Its surface is not attached. Okay, to its surface, ribosomes are not attached. So it is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now this C is nucleus that you already know, and D is cytoplasm. Okay, D is cytoplasm. Now here you can see A. Okay, A is 5, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. B, okay, B is 4. Okay, it is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and C is 8, that is the nucleus, and D, okay, D is 3, that is cytoplasm. So answer is the second one. So it's a very simple question. Just you have to label. An elaborate network of filamentous proteinaceous structures present in the cytoplasm, which helps in the maintenance of cell shape, is called. Now, this we have already discussed. So, network of filamentous and proteinaceous structures is nothing but cytoskeleton that provides shape to the cell. Okay, cytoskeleton is made up of different proteinaceous filaments like microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and microtubules that we have already discussed. Important site for formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids is. Now, the main site for formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids, here answer is Golgi apparatus. So, lipids are synthesized in Golgi apparatus, including the glycolipids. Okay, and proteins which are usually synthesized in rough endoplasmic reticulum, they are transported to Golgi apparatus, where proteins, okay, undergo certain modifications. So here glycoproteins means carbohydrate moieties are added to the proteins here to form glycoproteins. Hence, the answer is Golgi apparatus. Peptide synthesis inside a cell takes place in. Now, peptide is nothing but it is a sequence of amino acids. Okay, that is nothing but protein. Okay, now protein synthesis inside a cell it takes place in ribosomes. Oh, very well. Okay, so there are two subunits of ribosomes, smaller subunit and larger subunit. They bind to mRNA and they read the code on the genetic code on mRNA. Accordingly, proteins are synthesized. So here answer is ribosomes. Which one of the following is not considered as part of endomembrane system? Okay, which is not part of endomembrane system. Now first you should know what is endomembrane system. Now endomembrane system is nothing but it is a group of membranes and organelles in eukaryotic cells that work together to modify, package and transport lipids and proteins. Now it includes nuclear envelope, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. Now endomembrane system means a set of connected organelles. Here you can see nucleus is connected to endoplasmic reticulum and endoplasmic reticulum is indirectly connected to Golgi complex because the vesicles which are formed from the endoplasmic reticulum they fuse with the Golgi complex and in turn Golgi modify those okay and packages them. So all these organelles they work in a coordinated manner. They work in a coordinated manner. Such system is what we call as endomembrane system. Okay. Now they asked which is not considered as an endomembrane system. Peroxisome is a separate entity and it is not concerned with it is not a part of endomembrane system, whereas lysosomes, okay, they are part actually they are produced from Golgi complex as vesicles. Okay, so they are related and even the vacuole, okay, it is also part of endomembrane system in case of plants. So here answer is peroxisome. Peroxisome is not a part of endomembrane system. The figure below shows the structure of mitochondrion with its four parts labeled A, B, C and D. Select the part correctly matched with its function. Now here uh, D is outer membrane, B is inner membrane, okay. A is the matrix and the C is here you can see these are folds, okay, which are called as cristae. And these folds are found on inner membrane of the mitochondria. Now, part A matrix. Yes, so part A is correctly labeled as matrix. Major site of respiratory chain enzymes. Okay, now the major site of respiratory chain enzymes is located on the inner membrane, not in the matrix. So respiratory chain enzymes means the electron transport chain. Now this electron transport chain is located on the inner membrane, not in the matrix. So even though part labeled is correct, its function is not matching here. Second one, D outer membrane. Yes, D is the outer membrane. Gives rise to inner membrane by splitting. No. Okay, so this statement is incorrect because both outer and inner membrane they are separately formed. Then part B, that is the inner membrane. So this is inner membrane. It forms infolding called cristae. It forms infolding called cristae. So this is correct. So this is the inner membrane that forms. Here you can see these are the infoldings, okay, which they are labeled as C. Okay, so that is they are nothing but the infoldings called cristae. So this is correct answer. Part B, that is inner membrane. It forms foldings called infoldings called cristae. Part C is also labeled correct as cristae. Okay, it is labeled correctly, but they are given they possess single circular DNA molecule and ribosome. So single circular DNA molecule and ribosome is located in the matrix, not on the cristae. So even though the labeling is correct, it's not matching with the location of DNA and ribosomes. So here answer is this part B, which is nothing but the inner membrane. It forms in foldings called the cristae. Select the correct statement from the following regarding cell membrane. Okay. Now, lipids are arranged in a bilayer with polar heads towards the inner part. Yes. So this statement is correct. This statement is correct. Here you can see the lipids which are present in a bilayer in plasma membrane. It is nothing but the phospholipid. Now this is single phospholipid molecule which has two parts. The head, which is hydrophilic, and hydrophobic tails. You can see. Now you can see this is the cytoplasm, that is the inner part, and this is the extracellular space at the outside part of the, or you can say outside face of the membrane. Now this is the inner face of the membrane. Now they are given that the polar heads, okay, towards the inner part. Here you can see, so these are the heads, okay, and these are the tails. Now hydrophobic tails, they are facing each other in lipid bilayer. Okay, and you can see the heads, which are hydrophilic heads, they are facing the extracellular space, as well as they are facing towards the inner side, that is the cytoplasm. So this statement is correct. Lipids are arranged in a bilayer with polar heads towards the inner part. So this statement is correct. Next, fluid mosaic model of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson. So this is also correct because the fluid mosaic model, okay, of cell membrane was actually proposed by Singer and Nicholson. Sodium and potassium ions move across cell membrane by passive transport. Now, passive transport means without expenditure of any energy. But you should remember that passive transport occurs, okay, across the cell membrane. Okay, only the small molecules, small and uncharged molecules, they can pass across, or you can say they can move across the cell membrane. But sodium and potassium, they are charged molecules. They are charged molecules. So they are transported by active transport, not by passive transport. In passive transport, only small and uncharged particles can pass through the cell membrane. So this statement is also incorrect. Proteins make up 60 to 70% of the cell membrane. Again, this statement is incorrect because in a typical RBC, okay, 50% of the cell membrane comprises of protein. Only 52% of the cell membrane is made up of protein, and 40% is made up of lipids. So again, this statement is incorrect because proteins only make up to 52% of the cell membrane in a typical erythrocyte, that is RBC membrane, that is mentioned in the book. So this is incorrect, this is incorrect, this is also incorrect. This is the correct statement here. First one. What is true about ribosomes? So you already know that ribosomes are nothing but they are called protein factories of cell because protein synthesis occurs in ribosomes. Now, what is true about ribosomes? These are found only in eukaryotic cells. No, they are also found in prokaryotic cells, but they are of different types. In eukaryotic cells, okay, in eukaryotic cells, the ribosomes are 80S type. In prokaryotic type, the ribosomes are 70S type. So this statement is incorrect because they are found in both prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic cells. These are self-splicing introns of some RNAs. So I already shared what are introns. Introns are nothing but the intervening sequences found between the exons in unprocessed mRNA in eukaryotes. So this is also incorrect. The prokaryotic ribosomes are ATS, where S stands for the sedimentation coefficient. So S stands for sedimentation coefficient is correct, but prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S, not 80S. Eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S. So this statement is also incorrect. This is incorrect. This is also incorrect. Now, last one. These are composed of ribonucleic acid and proteins. Now, this statement is correct. Now, they are made up of ribonucleic acid. There is nothing but RNA. Okay, RNA plus proteins. It forms the ribosomes. So, statement 4 is correct. Ribosomal RNA is actively synthesized in. Now, ribosome, the site of ribosomal RNA synthesis, that is rRNA synthesis, is nucleolus. So, within the nucleus, there is nucleolus in which there is continuous synthesis of ribosomal RNA. Which of the following, one of the following structures is an organelle within organelle? Okay. Now, here the meaning of organelle within organelle means there is an organelle which itself is organelle and is found within the other organelle. Now, here the answer is ribosomes. Ribosomes, they are not only found in the cytoplasm, they are also found in chloroplast, they are also found in mitochondria also. So, take for example mitochondria. Mitochondria has ribosomes. Mitochondria itself is a cell organelle and it contains ribosomes. So, the answer here is ribosome. So, ribosome is found in the cytoplasm like any other organelle. Okay. At the same time, ribosomes are also found in mitochondria and also in chloroplasts. So, ribosome is an organelle within organelle. Which one of the following cellular parts is correctly described? Now, lysosomes lysosomes optimally active at a pH of 8.5. Now, this is incorrect because lysosomes have the enzymes which are active at pH of below 7, that is acidic pH. So, generally it is 4.5 to 5 pH. So, lysosomes are optimally active, okay, at acidic pH, and what they are given is basic pH. So, this statement is incorrect. Thylakoids, flattened membrane sacs forming the grana of chloroplast. Now this is correct because in chloroplast, okay, in the stroma region of the chloroplast, there are many coin-like structures, or sorry, flattened membrane structures which are placed one above the other to form a granum. Grana is plural. Okay. Now this statement is correct. This is incorrect. Let's see other options also. Centrioles, sites for active RNA synthesis. No, centrioles, okay, they form microtubules. They form microtubules during the cell division. Okay, and they are not sites for active RNA synthesis. As you already know, the sites for active RNA synthesis is nucleolus. Ribosomes, those on chloroplasts are larger while those in cytoplasm are smaller. Now this statement is also incorrect because the ribosomes which are present on the chloroplasts are smaller, that is 70S, whereas the ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm are larger, which is 80, which are 80S. Here answer is the second one, thylakoids, flattened membrane sacs forming the grana of chloroplasts. A major site for synthesis of lipids is. Now, this is a very simple question because you know very well that it is SCR, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It synthesizes lipids. It is involved in lipid synthesis. All types of lipids like steroids, phospholipids, they are all synthesized in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And in rough endoplasmic reticulum, proteins are synthesized because rough endoplasmic reticulum is provided with ribosomes, which are sites of protein synthesis. the Golgi complex plays a major role in. Now, the main function of Golgi complex is packaging, okay, processing of the materials and also packaging. Okay. Now, in trapping the light and transforming it into chemical energy, now this is the function of chloroplasts in digesting proteins and carbohydrates. Now, this is a part. This is the function of the lysosomes as energy transferring organelles. Now, this is the function of mitochondria in post-translational modification of proteins and glycosylation of lipids. Yes, so this is correct. So Golgi complex is involved in post-translational modification of certain proteins. Certain proteins which are produced in rough endoplasmic reticulum, they are transported to Golgi complex through, or you can say in the form of vesicles. These endoplasmic reticulum vesicles, they fuse with the Golgi complex, and within the Golgi complex these proteins are modified, and also lipids are glycosylated. Okay, it means it's a site for formation of glycolipids. So glycolipids is nothing but lipids with carbohydrate moieties. The solid linear cytoskeletal elements having a diameter of 6 nanometer and made up of single type of monomer is known as. Now, here the answer is microfilaments. Microfilaments. So, microfilaments are the filaments which are made up of proteins called actin. Now, these are all actin proteins, okay, which form a filament, and their diameter is up to 7 nanometers. Now, they are given 6 nanometers, that is less than 7. So, up to 7 nanometers, the you can say the elements of cytoskeleton, they are made up of microfilaments. Now, microtubules, their diameter is up to 25 nanometers, and intermediate filaments, they're made up of several proteins, intermediate filaments. Okay, for example, keratin, okay, mannan, etc. Now, their diameter is 10 nanometers. So, here the answer is microfilaments. Microfilaments are made, okay, their diameter is up to 7 nanometers. So, they are given 6. Your answer is microfilaments. Nuclear envelope is a derivative of. Okay, now nuclear envelope is a derivative of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Nuclear envelope is a derivative of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Select the correct matching in the following pairs. Okay, so they are given different smooth and rough here. Okay, the organelles and their functions have also been given. Okay, now rough endoplasmic reticulum. The function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is synthesis of proteins, not synthesis of glycogen. Glycogen is synthesized in structures called glycosomes. Glycosomes. Then rough endoplasmic reticulum, oxidation of fatty acids. No, fatty acid oxidation takes place in peroxisomes, not in rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is concerned with protein synthesis. Smooth ER, oxidation of phospholipids. Now, smooth ER, the main function of smooth ER is the synthesis of lipids, not oxidation, synthesis of lipids. Now, oxidation of phospholipids, okay, and fatty. Actually, oxidation of fatty acids takes place both in mitochondria as well as peroxisomes, but oxidation of phospholipids takes place in peroxisomes. Okay. Now, first three, all the three, they are incorrect matching pairs. Okay. Smooth ER, synthesis of lipids. This is the correct answer. The chromosomes in which centromere is situated close to one end. Okay. Now here the answer is acrocentric. Okay, acrocentric. So there are four types of chromosomes based on the position of centromere. If the centromere is at the center, then they are called as metacentric chromosomes. Okay, but if the centromere is slightly away from the center, then they are called submetacentric chromosomes. And when the centromere is close to one end, it is close to one end, then it is they are called as acrocentric chromosomes. So here the answer is acrocentric chromosomes. So this is the last type of chromosome that is called as telocentric chromosome, where the centromere is present at the tip. Here the centromere is present towards one end, that is towards tip, but here centromere is present on the tip, that is called as telocentric chromosomes. Here the answer is okay, acrocentric chromosome. So this is the acrocentric chromosome. Water soluble pigments found in plant cell vacuoles are now anthocyanins, okay, which are responsible for the color of the flowers. Okay, they are water soluble, remaining all water insoluble. Mitochondria and chloroplasts are okay. Now they are semi-autonomous organelles. So this statement is correct. They are not completely autonomous because they are present within the cell and they are dependent on the cell. So they are not completely autonomous, but they divide. Okay, their division is independent of the nucleus. Okay, so they can divide themselves. They can replicate themselves. So that is why they are called semi-autonomous organelles. This statement is correct. This statement is correct. Okay. Then they are formed by the division of pre-existing organelles. Yes, they are formed by the pre-existing organelles only. Means mitochondria, they give rise to mitochondria. Chloroplasts, they give rise to chloroplasts. And this statement is, I mean, this line is correct. And they contain DNA but lack protein synthesizing machinery. Now this is incorrect because they do contain DNA, but they have the protein synthesizing machinery, that is nothing but ribosomes. So both mitochondria as well as chloroplast, they have ribosomes, which is nothing but protein synthesizing machinery. That is why this statement is, as a whole is incorrect. This statement is completely correct. So statement A is true and B is false. Which of the following is true for nucleolus? So you know very well that within the nucleus, okay, nucleolus, which is present within the nucleus, continuous synthesis, active synthesis of ribosomal RNA takes place. So this is the answer. It is a site where for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. So ribosomal RNA is synthesized within the nucleolus. Uh, Spindle formation, centrioles take part in spindle formation. Okay, it is not a membrane-bound structure. Okay, it is present within the nucleus. Nucleus has a membrane, but nucleolus is not membranous, so it is not a membrane-bound structure. This is incorrect. Now, larger nuclei are present in dividing cells. No, the size of nuclei doesn't change. Number may change, but size doesn't change. Answer is it is a site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. Which of the following events does not occur in rough endoplasmic reticulum? Now, within rough endoplasmic reticulum, proteins are synthesized and they can be slightly modified. Okay. Now, cleavage of signal peptide, protein glycosylation, protein folding, all these are post-translational processes. Now, these post-translational processes, translational means after protein is synthesized. Okay, after what rough endoplasmic reticulum, they have ribosomes on their surface, right? So ribosomes, they synthesize proteins. Then these ribosomes, they transport the proteins into the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, where all these post-translational modification take place. So all these are the functions of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Phospholipid synthesis is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So it is not the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Hence, answer is phospholipid synthesis. Microtubules are the constituents of, means which of these structures have are made up of microtubules. Cilia, yes, cilia are made up of microtubules. Flagella are also made up of microtubules, but peroxisome they are not made up of microtubules. So this is not the answer. Spindle fibers are made up of microtubules. Even the centrioles, okay, they are made up of microtubules, and also cilia are made up of microtubules. So here this is the answer. Spindle fibers, they are made of microtubules, centrioles, and also cilia, and even flagella is made up of microtubules. But it's not mentioned in this sequence. I mean, in this series. So in this series, all the three they are made up of microtubules. Let's see other options. Centrioles again they are made up of microtubules. Spindle fibers are made up of microtubules, but chromatin is not made up. Chromatin is made up of nucleosomes that you already know. So this is not correct. Centrosome. Centrosome means it is a structure within which centrioles are present. This is made up of microtubules, correct? Nucleosomes. Nucleosomes, they are part of chromatin, and nucleosomes are made up of histone proteins, not microtubules. Now the answer is, your answer is spindle fibers, centrioles, and cilia. Which structures perform the function of mitochondria in bacteria? Okay. Now here, the organelles which are equivalent to mitochondria because mitochondria are absent in bacteria. So instead of mitochondria, there are mesosomes. Now mesosomes are nothing but the foldings of the plasma membrane that increases the surface area for energy production. So your answer is mesosomes. The solid linear cytoskeletal elements having a diameter of 6 nanometer and made up of single type of monomer is known as. Now this kind of question was already asked. Okay, so 6 nanometers means microfilaments, and they're also made up of single type of monomer, that is nothing but actin. Okay, actin protein. So microfilaments are made up of actin protein, and their diameter is up to 7 nanometers. Up to 7 nanometers, so 6 nanometers also microfilament. Whereas microtubules, the diameter is 25 nanometers, and microtubules are made up of protein called tubulin. And intermediate filaments, they are made up of more than one type of proteins. Okay, and their diameter is up to 10 nanometers, 8 to 10 nanometers, from 11 to 25 microtubules. And lamins, they are proteins which are found in intermediate filaments only. The osmotic expansion of a cell kept in water is chiefly regulated by. Now, vacuoles contain, here the answer is vacuoles. Vacuoles contain the cell sap, whose concentration is more than that of water. So, when a cell is kept in water, okay, water is nothing where water potential is higher, then water potential in the vacuoles is less. Then what happens? Water enters into the cell and it causes the osmotic expansion, and the cell becomes turgid. So here answer is vacuoles. Which one of the following does not differ in E. coli and chlamydomonas? Now, means how chlamydomonas and E. coli are different, they asked. E. coli is a bacteria which is a prokaryote, whereas chlamydomonas is, it is also unicellular. Both are unicellular. E. coli is also unicellular, but it is prokaryotic. Chlamydomonas is unicellular, but it is eukaryotic. And you know very well that the main difference between prokaryote and eukaryote is that in prokaryotes there is no nuclear membrane, whereas in Chlamydomonas, that is eukaryote, okay, here there is nuclear membrane. Now let's see the differences. Cell wall is present in both Chlamydomonas as well as E. coli. So both are made up of cell wall, even though the structure is slightly different, but means they are made up of different chemical components, but both have the cell walls. Cell membrane, yes. So both of them, they have cell membranes beneath the cell wall, and both of them have ribosomes. Both of them have ribosomes. Okay. Now, what they asked is which of the one of the following does not differ in E. coli. So they are asking for similarity, not difference actually. They are asking for similarity in E. coli and Chlamydomonas. Both have cell walls. That is a okay. Both, even though both have cell walls, their chemical composition is different. So cell wall of E. coli and Chlamydomonas is different. Cell membrane is same, because the basic structure of cell membrane, that is the lipid bilayer, it remains same in both E. coli as well as Chlamydomonas. So this is the similarity, means both have cell membrane whose structure is similar. So E. coli and Chlamydomonas, they do not differ with respect to cell membrane. But ribosomes in E. coli, the prokaryote, it is a prokaryote. So ribosomes is 70S in E. coli, and Chlamydomonas, which is eukaryote, the ribosomes are 80S. So 70S ribosomes are found in E. coli, and 80S ribosomes are found in Chlamydomonas, which is a eukaryote. Chromosomal organization. So here also there is difference. Now Chlamydomonas shows chromosomes. Chlamydomonas is a eukaryote. It shows chromosomes, whereas E. coli, okay, in E. coli there are no chromosomes. Okay. Now you know already very well that chromosomes are made up of DNA. Okay, chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins called histone and non-histone proteins. So those histone proteins are absent in E. coli. So you'll see only DNA, a circular DNA molecule in E. coli. Whereas in Chlamydomonas, so the same DNA, it gets packed into histone and non-histone proteins to form chromosomes. So chromosomes are present in Chlamydomonas, chromosomes are absent in case of E. coli. Again, now these three are different. Sorry, cell wall, ribosomes, chromosome organization. So in these factors, these two organisms, they differ, but their cell membrane has the same basic structure, that is lipid bilayer. Hence the answer is cell membrane. Which one of the following cellular parts is correctly described? I think this question is repeated, but the options are jumbled here. Okay. Thylakoids, flattened membranous structure sacs forming the grana of chloroplast. Yes, this statement is correct. Centriole sites of active RNA synthesis, incorrect, because centrioles, uh, the nucleolus is the site for active RNA synthesis, and ribosomes on chloroplast are smaller, 70S, and ribosomes in cytoplasm are larger, which is 80S. So this statement is also incorrect. Lysosomes optimally active at a pH of 8.5. So this is alkaline pH, whereas lysosomes, they are optimally active at uh, acidic pH, that is 4.5 to 5 here in this case. Which one of the following options regarding the given chromosomes is true? They are given two chromosomes A and B. Which of them is correct? A is acrocentric, B is telocentric. Okay. Now you know very well that in acrocentric chromosome, the uh, the centriole. Okay, in case of acrocentric chromosome, the centriole is close to towards one end. Okay, but here you can see in acrocentric chromosome, the what is this? Okay, the centriole is at the tip. In acrocentric chromosome, okay, the centriole is towards the end, whereas in telocentric chromosome, the centriole is on the tip, or you can say at the tip of the chromosome. So A is telocentric, B is acrocentric. So answer is A is telocentric, B is acrocentric. Primary construction in chromosome has. Okay. Now this is the primary construction of a typical metaphase chromosome. Here you can see. So this is a typical metaphase chromosome, which is made up of two chromatids. Here you can see this is one chromatid, this is like a chromatid. Okay, and they are held together at the center. Now this is a metacentric chromosome. Okay, which are held together at the center by a structure called kinetochore. Kinetochore is nothing but it is the assembly of proteins, okay, that holds the two chromatids together. And kinetochores, they are also site of attachment of microtubules during cell division. So here primary construction of in chromosome has kinetochore. 9 plus 2 arrangement of microtubules is found in. Now, in case of cilia and flagella, okay, in case of cilia and flagella, if you take a transverse section of cilia and flagella, they are made up of proteins called tubulin. They are made up of proteins called tubulin, okay, which forms the microtubules. Okay, T is missing here. Now these are the microtubules. Now this is one doublet of microtubules, second doublet, third doublet, like this. So there are 9 doublets of microtubules. Now all these are microtubules. Okay, one one doublet means there are 2 units. One doublet, second doublet, third doublet, like this. There are 9 doublets of of microtubules. Okay, peripheral microtubules, and at the center again there are 2 more central microtubules. Okay, so there are 9 doublets of peripheral microtubules and 2 central microtubules. Okay, and this structure is common for both cilia as well as flagella. It is common for both cilia and flagella. Hence, the answer is 1 and 2. Now, this is nothing but the transverse section of cilia or flagella, which is made up of 2 central microtubules and 9 doublets of peripheral microtubules. The major difference between arrangement of microtubules of cilia and centrioles is, now both cilia and centrioles, they have the same basic structure. They are made up of same microtubules. They are made up of microtubules, which is made up of tubulin protein. Okay. Now, the main difference between microtubules of cilia and centrioles is that here, now this we have already discussed. Now this is the internal structure of cilia and flagella. Okay, it has 9 doublets of microtubules. Okay, 9 doublets of microtubules. Now here also there are microtubules, but there are 9 triplets. Here you can see. So each unit is a triplet made up of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 microtubules in one single cluster. Okay. So like this, there are 9 triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 triplets of microtubules in the centriole. Now this is centriole. So there are 9 triplets here, peripheral microtubules, but here there are 9 doublets, not triplets. So in cilia and flagella, there are 9 doublet peripheral microtubules. Whereas in case of centriole, it is also made up of microtubules, but there are 9 triplets of peripheral microtubules. Microtubules are made up of proteins called. Microtubules are made up of tubulin. Okay, microtubules are made up of proteins called tubulin. Actin is present in microfilaments. Histones, they are found in nucleosomes, whereas myosin is found in case of muscles. Now, let's discuss few more questions and also any doubts if you have in our group. Thank you.